Welcome. This is Crimey Queen. If you are joining us for the first time, this is the channel where we have fun with words and numbers, numerology to be precise. Okay, this is where we actualize self full love. This is where we want to spill over with love. We want to throw portions of love wherever we go and just help heal ourselves and the world because we are the world. Okay. All right. Um Basically, I done my last presentation with the intention to look at the word heaven. Of course, I do work intuitively and I was guided to really look at the tongue instead of heaven. Of course, why not? Because it is said in the Bible, and God said, "Let there be light." So the first thing God would have used, oh my God, I've got a wonderful eureka. The first thing God would have used, the word used, the first thing God would have used would be the tongue. I've just done this on the tongue. I want to look at the word heaven. I am looking at the first scripture, the first verse. In the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth. I have looked at the word created. We have seen that it has words as street, crate, rat, tar, treat, as I've already said, tea, eat, ate, all different things that could just, they all kind of related to a restaurant. Yes, all the words are related to a restaurant. You sit, the foods are in the crate, the rats perhaps in the back. There's always a rat around. There's a cat, of course, and people are treating others to sitting to dining, to eating, and they would have said, "I ate this, I ate that." In fact, these are the words. So there's a rate, of course. There is a rate. If there wasn't a rate, for instance, then we could have said, well, this is not really a business we are talking about, but there is a rate here. We are talking about an enterprise, enterprise. Of course, there are prices. Um, we are talking about a business here. We are talking about, I'm not seeing the word life here. I'm not seeing the word forgiveness. I'm not seeing the word breathe yet. I'm not seeing any of these here in this word that denotes. I am seeing I am seeing a business. I am seeing art. I am seeing foods nicely laid on a plate. Perhaps that's how it was at the Last Supper, because we are doing these presentations around the sacrifice template, which also consists of the Last Supper, where there were 12 plates. Of course, there was a value here. This is the rat. Actually, the rat equals 12. 1 plus 2 would be 3. And there is the word act next to it. So the rat is always acting. I don't think anything happens by chance that that act would be next to the rat. And so we can see where the rat has come about. It's the greatest movie ever created. It is the greatest movie ever created. And it has got such a twist to it. I had looked at the word twist already because twist is really a twisted rubber band, we could say. It's an 8, it's the figure 8. It's really whole, it is complete, but our perspective, our perception does not allow us to see it as the whole, unless we get into that new state which I have gone on with the word sacrifice. Okay. So here this is what I have seen so far. There's a It's a work of art that we are looking at when God created the heaven and the earth. We see that in, I think it's the fifth verse, that of Genesis of chapter 1. It sounds so complicated, and God divided the waters from the waters that was above the waters before above the firmament, and then those that were beneath the firmament, and divided. And what is all that about? And I'm going to double check, but I believe it's in the fifth verse. Now that would also give a clear picture why all this complication has come about. Eve being five, Christ being five, and we are going round about the mountain, of course, round about the mountain, because the mountain, which is the tip of the mountain, is actually five. So five is here, one, two, three, four is here, six, seven, eight, nine is here. So we are going around the mountain. I just had a eureka, another eureka. This is where, this is the letter 8. I mean, this is the A where we go up. It's like a ladder and the snake is going up the ladder. So we can see, there we are going this way. And when we add this together, that is 1. This is 10, so it's 1. We add this together is 3. When we add this together, that gives us 4. That gives us our foundation. So basically, we want to understand how how to see ourselves, how to acknowledge ourselves here. We were given 5 fingers, 5 hands, I mean 5 hands. Perhaps we were given 5 hands too, but we have not considered them as such, of course. And figuratively, yes, our senses are also like hands, we could say, because we can form things with our hands. So when you smell something, you can form an image with what you have smelled. I smell bread, and you could know what it tastes like, and the texture, and the colors would come to mind, whether it's brown bread or sweet bread, whatever it is. Our senses, our eyes, our ears, we hear a bottle is popped open and we think it is red wine or white wine, and so on. So yes, it's okay for us to say they all hands. So back to the scripture of Genesis of chapter 1, and I want to look at the word heaven, because what I have seen so far is that the first verse really looks like the biggest business, and it makes me wonder whether Hollywood is not just completely on this first verse of the scripture, Genesis of chapter 1, verse 1. In the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth. 2 dimensions. That's what we see, 2 dimensions. And of course, we are often prompt to see and focus on 1 dimension, just like we are focused and conditioned to use our right hand. And I remember people who were left-handed in my class, and they would get slapped so hard on that right hand to stop writing with it, so that they could, with their left hand, so that they could use their right hand. And oftentimes the people did not succeed because these people were very determined that they had come into the world to do what they wanted to do, and no one was going to stop them in this case. Um, some of us, of course, are more subservient and more submissive, and of course, we do as we were told, and had to work and deal with the repercussion of those conditionings that we have had. Likewise, we have been conditioned in this through the scriptures of the teachings to see, in fact, see things one way, and now we are looking at. I am taking the liberty to look at the scriptures with the insight and wisdom granted to me that I could see how it has impacted my life and what I am desiring to change and what I am desiring to accept. That's the purpose. Because unless I do that, I am not allowing myself the opportunity to grow. As I say, I want to know because I want to grow. Okay, now back to heaven. I know I do go on, but let's see, we are in 10 minutes, so I'm going to do this. I'm going to be mindful of the time. I will. I perhaps would use the number 20. Let's do this because we are talking about numerology. 15 is a very nice number too. To do our presentations in 15 minutes would be nice. 1 plus 5 is 6, and that really encapsulates the 6, the number of love. But I'm doing presentations, and I think to allow myself that time for learning and conditioning and practicing, how about we go for 20 minutes on average? 20 minutes. The 2 is for planting because I want to plant my ideas. We are planting new seeds. So let's go for 20. And now we are in 12. So that gives me 8 minutes. The whole, of course, I love it. Okay, so heaven. Let's break down the word heaven first. Heaven. And I know it is 10. I've done this before. 1, 4, 5, 5. So 5 plus 5, 10, 15, 20, 28. 28, of course, let's just do one hair. That would be 10 hair. All right. We just do it this way to save our space. So heaven is, let's save ourselves some space. Heaven equals, there's the song. I could hear it. Something about heaven. Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door. Okay. There's another one as well. So 28. Now, there is also heaven. Yes, let's get this word. Number one word we have from heaven is Eve. Now we had never ever been taught about Eve being in heaven. No, or having anything to do with heaven. No. Okay. Well, how about even? Of course. And the evening and the morning were the first day, or the evening and the morning were the second day. The evening and the morning were the third day, the fourth day, the fifth day, the sixth day. Eve was Eve was there every day. Okay, but Eve was from heaven. Okay, now how about have? Of course, have. HAVE. I like have, it equals 9. Let's just do the numerical value as well. So if it's 14 and 5 would be 19. So 19, oh, perhaps I ought to do this with you in case you are new to this. It just seemed to save time because, of course, all right, we will do this another time because I am going on with this I'm timing myself here. So if is 5 even, okay, so this is 5, 10, 15, and 4, 19. 1 plus 9 equals 10. So there we are about even, which derives from Mother Eve, like I have done in my last presentation as well. So that Eve is actually in the mouth. Eve is mouth all of what mouth entails, even. So it is the left and right, and everything is your left to right, that line, that horizontal line, or whichever way you want to put it. Okay, Eve, and we have HAVE. HAVE is, so here we have 5 and 4, 9, and 9 and 9. I like that. Ha, which is this syllable here. When we have something, we should be happy of what, hence we have to be particular about what we have, so we can, when we think of the word have, we add that ha, that wonderful vibration. Okay, so it is 9 and 9, 18. 1 plus 8 is 9. Okay, now more words. AVE, that would be for avenue. I'm just thinking this way, and um, V HAHE. All right, have, heaven, um, in Hean. What is that? Hean. All right. Okay. So we'll just leave this here for now. It's that I'm just getting the essence of what heaven is. But we see from the derivative of this of these words here, or those words that we have gathered from heaven, it's all to do with Eve. Have, um, it's all about how we can relate to Mother Eve. So we have numbers 1 and 9. So heaven would be that which takes us. I'm saying I'm 17 minutes, got 2 more minutes. Okay, so heaven is really, in essence, now I'm getting a good understanding about heaven, and that's why I love numerology, because that's what gives me the insight to understanding our makeup. So if heaven that we want to be at, or we think is all honey and smooth and wonderful and perfect, that was the heaven where it is said Lucifer and the angels, or one third of the angels, were cast from heaven. It meant there must have been things that were not so harmonious in heaven before, as well as what is claimed to have happened on earth. So there we have, and that's another thing as well. We are all focused to go up to heaven, heaven in the sky somewhere, wherever that is. And we see that here we see that it has, it concludes, or the numerical value is 10. It means it comes just like the tongue, the power of good and bad, life and death, sweet and sour, up and down. The polarities are right here as well. It is even in heaven, even, Eve, even, have, whatever. Thy hence it is said, as above, so below. Whatever is in the heaven is also in the earth. Whatever you bind in the heavens, you bind in the earth. Whatever you loose in the heavens, you loose in the earth. Hence, God had loosed one third of the angels in the earth. So then that would mean there would be one third of whatever else, or the reflection, or the polarities to that in the heavens. Something to that effect. We have to do the maths. That's what numerology is offering us, some insight to seeing how we are doing. Now I am on 19 minutes, and I am determined to do this no more than 20 minutes. So I hope you have enjoyed this. I hope you have found this fun. Do join me again as we explore heaven further in depth, or the verse or the first verse of Genesis chapter 1. Do like and subscribe and share because this is how we do it to actualizing self love. Stay blessed, stay bright, stay afield because we are planting new seeds.